And it's like you were fighting the fascists, so that
And I was fighting the faggots. Hello and welcome to Dr. Yum Num 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 Num. I'm Sarah, and I'm hungry.
You stole my line. I'm hungry.
We can both be hungry.
Okay, we're starving.
We're collectively the wire. We need to feed.
We need to. What she said when she was like feasting? She said I'm lashing.
I'll have lashings of you.
I'll have lashings of you. Well, I'm Jeannette Lashings Chen, and today with us we have two very, very extra special guests.
Hello.
Enemy of the podcast, Will Tote. Now I think reformed to friend of the podcast, Will Tote.
Yeah, I'll give him friend status.
Yippee! And also...
Hi. Oh, I'm Jack.
There we go. I'm happy that you also dropped the ball on the intro. I wasn't prepared.
Well, you just kind of say whatever you want to say, and then I'll edit it in post. This is basically how it goes.
And Jeanette makes it sound nice after.
Yeah, nice-ish, at any rate. But anyway, as you may be able to tell from the intro, today we're covering The Idiot's Lantern, which actually, the title doesn't really have anything to do with the intro, so...
Well, no, yes it does. Miss Wire is iconic.
Well, Miss Wire's iconic, but I still don't understand the meaning of Idiot's Lantern.
It's television.
Well, duh, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's the television.
I guess so.
It's all TV.
And it makes me hungry.
It makes me hungry.
So hungry. We're doing a special episode today because we just got back from Fandom Fest 2024 in Schenectady, New York. So if you were there, shout out Cleaning Levi and Bald Chuck. We were there. Also Shinji and Random Cowboy.
Be nice.
So if you were there, you missed us because we're already gone.
It's months later by the time you're listening to this. We were suffering through the heat as we left in our cosplays, and now it's super cold when you're hearing it. Oh, probably not actually because of climate change.
I hope wherever you are, you're warmed by the sounds of our voices and our commentary on Doctor Who.
And the Idiot's Lantern.
And the idiot warmed
the lantern
by the
itself.
Heat of the Idiot's Lantern. Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know this episode, I will presently read the summary. It is 1953, the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. But there is something hiding in the television of the British people. Something hungry. I'm hungry. ... Yes, it says something hungry, ...
We don't know anything about this alien other than that she's in the TV and she's hungry.
Yes,
and she eats people's faces. We don't know, it was not made clear, but it was enough for me. It was really funny.
Dude, she's sucking some serious face. The entire episode.
But she can also eat people's souls without eating their face, like she does to, what's his name? Mr. Magpie.
Well, I thought she gave it back. Or did...
Oh, is that how it went? She ate it and then regurgitated his soul back to him?
I thought so, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I thought it was a metaphorical thing. You ate my soul because he was letting all those other people get eaten.
Oh, that's real.
I'm reading way too into this show, man.
What else is this podcast for?
This is true. This is very true.
Well, how did he know that she was gonna eat his face? Did he just bring her a sacrificial lamb before she metaphorically ate his soul?
Well, it's like that episode of the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy where the brain creature gets Billy to bring a bunch of victims to him to eat all their brains, and Voltaire does the song. And it's brains, I won't lie. Anybody remember this?
I have no idea.
Crickets.
Literally, crickets, love. It's okay. Well, if any of our listeners know about this episode and about Voltaire, Aurelio Voltaire, not Voltaire the French philosopher, but Aurelio Voltaire, the Gothic musician, sound off in the comments.
We only have one person from friend of the podcast, Yum Yum Podcast, commenting on our podcast. We gotta get, well, I mean, we love them, but we gotta get like more people.
It's true. I know you people are out there. I know you're listening. I get everybody to listen to this podcast.
We are number, what is it, like 93 in TV podcasts in the Philippines.
Wow.
So
Congratulations, guys.
thank you.
It's single-handedly my friends Gab and SJ. Like, I just know it's Gab and SJ. So if you're listening right now, sound off in the comments.
I want to see some comments from the 3 teenaged boys from the United Kingdom.
The young English lads.
What do they have to say about the BBC's crackdown on fines and fees for
Licenses.
Licenses? Man, that's bad. That's really bad.
It's better to do it badly.
Is that true?
In the terms of making fun of British people for having licenses for everything, yes, I think it is better that way.
Okay, sure. Okay, let's hear the fun facts. Just read them off the
Okay,
list. You know what?
I'll give you 2 fun facts.
You can also read off the list, and then I'll cut out the ones that are bad.
Okay, let me read the Dutch angle one first, though, because I took a screenshot of that, and we have a lot to say about it.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, almost every shot in this episode is shot at a Dutch angle, a type of camera shot where the camera is set at an angle. This technique is typically used to evoke tension. Past episodes have used Dutch angles, but this is the first instance of an entire episode being shot mostly using this technique. I didn't notice this at first, and then Jeanette and Will pointed it out while we were watching, and like I couldn't stop noticing it the entire time. Like, it's slanted the entire time in like so many different directions.
We did mention it on the establishing shot. The very first shot of magpies in the rain is at a crazy Dutch angle, and it just gets worse from there. The overheads, I love it. And by love it, I mean I hated it. It was terrible.
It just seriously does not stop the entire time. Like, if you have not watched a single episode of Doctor Who listening to this podcast so far, you should watch this one just for the extreme overuse of Dutch angles, because it's just like, are your eyeballs offset in your head? Like, why are we looking at things skewed on like a, however many degrees angle the entire time? It's very bizarre.
That's the POV of halfway through getting your face sucked off by the wire. When they have those like crazy snouts. That's what it looks like. The whole world's a Dutch angle now.
It must be.
I loved those snouts. I kept thinking they're like My Little Pony. Like, they're getting like pony-fi.
There are like hypnotist videos about that. Like, there are My Little Pony hypnotism videos where it's like, you are becoming Pinkie Pie.
No. All right. Next fun fact. The little boy, what's his name? Tommy. He wanted him to like be gay and like make a whole statement about what his experience was like growing up as a gay teenager, and to have him pretend to be interested in Rose, only for him to reveal in the closing moments that he was actually attracted to the Doctor. Then he decided to change tack after watching the latter episodes of season 1, in which the Doctor and Rose were accompanied by Captain Jack Harkness. He concluded that this was a more modern and effective way to explore sexual orientation, and Tommy's role in the narrative was consequently amended. That's interesting. I'm not sure if that would like have added much to the plot. It would have felt kind of random to have that in, but I do like that Captain Jack Harkness is being appreciated.
I agree. I do think that it would have given Tommy like more of a role as opposed to just being like a granny's boy.
Just like the abused son.
Yeah, like it would have added an interesting angle to the fact that he's like the modern thinker versus his father being like the old war veteran.
That's actually true.
Right?
Yeah.
Is Mark Gatiss gay?
Apparently. I don't know.
Well, it just would have added one little thing to when he blows up at his dad and is like, you were fighting the fascists, so that,
And I was fighting the faggots?
No, he, instead of just being like, so the stinky little twerps like me, he could have been like, I don't know, so the gay twerps like me, I don't know.
Another fun fact is that when the Doctor was climbing the tower, that was inspired by King Kong.
Oh, not Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Well, Rocky Horror Picture Show is inspired by King Kong, that scene.
Yeah, but it would have been cuntier if it were inspired directly by Rocky Horror Picture Show.
He should have started, like, singing, and there should have been, like Frankenfurter, just, like, on there, too.
Could you imagine David Tennant as Frankenfurter?
David Tennant, I'm going home.
Don't even.
I'm gonna come.
Wow.
Somebody do the come up to the lab, see what's on the slab, but in the
God.
Matt Tennant.
Well,
To the
That wasn't that bad.
that wasn't that bad.
That
Well,
wasn't that bad.
he puts it like he bares his teeth and he puts it all the way up like in his nose. If I
I want to be in his nose. You should. We're gonna go past that. You should do it.
I will. Well, I'll think about it and maybe I'll do it at the end of the episode.
Okay.
But anyway, now that we've gone over the fun facts, what was everybody's favorite part of the episode? We can go around in a circle. Right now we're sitting on the floor of Sarah's office in a little semicircle like we're in kindergarten. So we'll start on my left then. We can start with Will and we'll go around.
My favorite part was very close to the beginning when the doctor turns up on his little moped or whatever, and they have that little exchange in like ridiculous 50s lingo, which I don't know. I had never heard any of those phrases before, but they're so intuitive. Like right next to the refrigerator. Damn, yeah, it totally is. It's super cool.
Type shit.
Type shit.
I really liked those scenes. That whole exchange between Rose and the Doctor is so iconic, and it's in so many fan edits. Like, oh my god, yeah.
And their outfits were so cute.
So good. They were both like,
Like, I mean, the doctor was just kind of wearing his regular fit, but then his hair was in the pompadour.
his hair. Oh my god. Don't even. Yeah.
And then Rose's like
And her
little
little
pink
fishnets,
skirt
too,
and her
with the
fishnets and the pink heels. They were really, really, really cute. That's a good favorite part, I think.
I am hearing you guys say that right now. I am surprised because you've said that there are good and bad outfits throughout the whole time, and I've just imagined them listening to the podcast. I thought these outfits were not very good.
Oh my god!
Well, so here's the thing. I mean, the doctor doesn't really have much going on with him. He's wearing his normal outfit, and it's just his hair that's done up.
Yeah.
But this outfit for Rose, I think, is really cute.
I like it a lot. I think it's one of like the better ones for Rose, if not like top like 5 maybe.
I mean, the only one that Sarah and I have disagreed on was the one in the long game where she
Yeah.
was wearing that weird futuristic, like, athleisure jumpsuit or something.
She had that like pink
was
and
pink.
black zipper like shirt. I still like it.
I thought it was fugly.
We can agree to disagree.
This is very true, but I don't know. I thought it was a cute, like, way of doing rockabilly, and her earrings were really adorable, and she still got her, like, chunky eyeliner or mascara.
Yes, yeah.
I thought she looked cute. I mean, she makes most things look cute. Even the fugly outfit was like,
It's Billie Piper
it's Billie Piper.
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
What didn't you like about the outfit?
I don't know. I can't articulate that sort of thing. I felt like they were really big. And I don't know, I really like their like early 2000s fits. I like how they're like basically without shape. They're like I don't know. I think they look cool and they look fitting and it suits their like facial structure they look like they were pulled out of 2007 and I want them to always look like that. I don't know, that's it.
That's very fair.
Okay.
So, as for my favorite part of the episode, you know what? I'm going to come right out and say it. Even though she was kind of ridiculous, I really enjoyed The Wire.
Yeah.
She honestly was a very menacing villain, but then, like, the parts where she was, like, seriously scary, she freaked me out, but then she was just like, I'm hungry, and it was so, so bizarre.
She was like such a weird villain because like Cassandra like is always Cassandra. Like she's always silly, she's always like cunty, like she has like a vibe, but I feel like The Wire's vibes just like kept changing.
They were all over the place.
Yeah, but like it was just so funny to me that like even like regardless of how much it changed, I was entertained.
Yeah. I agree. And I loved that they took, like, an almost Julia Child-esque figure, like, on the black and white television and made her into, like, a seriously menacing villain.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was really cool because she's unassuming and kind of just inserts herself into your daily life. Even though I think that, you know, TV evil, like, is kind of an overdone thing nowadays, at any rate. I mean, you see it everywhere you go. I mean, I'm thinking about Octet and, like, how the internet is, like, frying your brain and, like...
The monster.
The Chad and Stacy's.
They'll never let us in.
Exactly. And it's just kind of, like, ridiculous and a lot. But I think for what it was well done in this episode. And Mark Gatiss knows how to write him.
Yeah. I feel like he's not really trying to make any grand statements. It's just kind of like the basic TV, evil, hungry, and I had fun watching it. Like, I'm not trying to, like, look deeper into it, and neither is he, and I think that that's fine.
Yeah. And I think it was handled a lot better than the long game was handled, because that was like,
yeah.
Oh, the media, like... Oh, it was so bad.
The media is a blob alien with fangs in the ceiling, like...
And also, what's his face is there.
And Simon Pegg is here.
Simon Pegg is here.
His role was unclear, but he's here. Alright, my favorite part is, like, very specific. I also loved The Wire, but when Mr. Magpie got vaporized on top of, like, the tower... That shit was so funny. Like, he had his hands in the air... and then, like, he just, like, got and was like, like... It was so sudden, and it was really funny.
He's like, I just want some peace. And the Wire's like, I'll give you some peace. And he just gets, like, exploded into pink vapor. Like,
but it's so unceremonious. It's like half a second of screen time. He just kind of falls a little bit, and then he just disappears in pink.
Nobody gives a shit either. The doctor, like, I can't remember him making an expression of, like, of regret or mournfulness, because he usually does with, like, every character that dies. Like, you can tell that he, like, feels the weight of their deaths. Mr. Magpie, I don't think he gave a single shit. Nobody asked about him. Like, he was gone, and that was that. Like, and that's really funny.
He said poor Mr. Magpie.
that's also true.
But it was, like, a part of, like, a bit where he was, like, leading up to how he was gonna defeat the Wire. Like, he didn't give a fuck about Mr. Magpie.
He was only good for a burn on the Wire.
Exactly. And another thing is that it was totally incongruent with the way that the Wire was dealing with other people. Like, you didn't see the Wire vaporizing anybody else. The Wire was stealing their faces. Like, why did the Magpie guy get fucking vaporized?
He wanted some peace. Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
Dude, honestly, me too.
All right, Jack. What was your
Jesus
favorite
Christ.
part?
All right, I'm only here as a hater of this show, quite frankly. I'm here for the counter viewpoint. Jesus Christ, I really hate this goddamn show, man. The dad's stupid accent, man. That was pretty funny. Like, the fucking what the fuck you think you're doing, boy? Yeah, that was funny. No, that's he's putting on an accent for that, but yeah, that's my thing.
It's really true. The way that everybody else in the episode, like, sounded relatively normal, or as normal as, like, an English person can sound. But then the dad was like, all right, you're a regular, like, granny's boy, or, like, whatever the fuck. Like, that was crazy.
I don't know, I feel like we mentioned, like, the lads from the UK in this episode, and now I feel bad. Like, I'm, like, envisioning their faces, like, falling as their favorite podcast
This
hosts.
is what we
like,
think of you, by the way. If you're from Britain, we think you're corny characters.
no.
Like, all three of those boys have the exact same accent as Eddie Connolly, and they're, like, listening to this episode, and they're like, oh, I sound like that. That's fucked up. Oh, no. I can't believe that Sarah and Jeanette and Jack and Will, they all hate us. They hate us forever. Like Smeagol. Oh,
Sorry about it. Stop beating your son.
true. Oh my god. That, like, rando old lady, Aunt Betty or whatever the fuck.
She was like, you should beat your son. And he was like, yeah, oh, I will.
And her fugly ass outfit, I'm sorry, she was not giving.
I like how when her face was getting taken by the TV, she was like still smiling, so it like stretched out.
Whoever did the in-between on the special effects for the face stealing, all those in-between frames are hilarious. It looks like those, when you see those like horrible stills of Scooby-Doo where they're all stretched out, except they do it really slow. It's really poorly done. It's alright, I love it.
Man. Well, now that we've had a raucous laugh over what was our favorite parts of the episode.
Talking about things that are poorly done.
I was literally just about to say, I was like, oh, I've got a segue.
Oh, what, am I out of a job now? Jesus Christ.
I spent the whole drive up here hoping that I could do a segue, just because you really forced the what episode did we just listen
Tooth
to in
and
the car?
Claw.
Tooth and Claw.
So for all our viewers at home, that's how late the episodes are coming out, is that Tooth and Claw just came out when this episode is being recorded.
You mentioned that one was in June
June 5th.
Jeanette's birthday.
That is my birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
It's not my birthday anymore. It's like
It's
August
August
10th. But anyway. But yeah, I'm glad that you were able to do a set. How far Will has risen from an enemy of the podcast to doing his own segues on our podcast as a special guest.
I'm trying to get put back in enemy status by stepping on your toes.
Oh my god.
I don't mean it.
Well, enemy of the podcast, what was your least favorite part of the episode? Because I know you're my least favorite part of this episode.
Oh, yeah. I had a whole spiel already, but now my heart hurts. The worst part of the episode by far is the confrontation between Tommy and his dad, where, with everybody watching, his whole extended family's in the living room, his mom's in the doorway, there is some sort of special detective and the doctor at the door. Tommy is trying to help out the doctor, and his dad comes out and is just like, "You're a little shit and I hate you." And then Tommy's like, "You just fought all the fascists so that little twerps like me can ask questions and choose who to be friends with and not have our grandma get taken away by the secret police." And then the dad's like, "Actually, I hate you and your ugly, disgusting creature of a grandmother." It's like, why did they write that scene?
Dude,
so bad.
Straight men hating their mother-in-laws is like really real, apparently.
I know that scene to me was like so funny because he's like losing his shit over the grandmother and he's like, she's a filthy fucking thing, and like she just like doesn't have a face. Like as we were watching it, we were like, what's wrong with her really? Like she doesn't have a face, and she like walks around and makes little noises. She makes thumping noises. Like there's really nothing wrong with her. She poses no harm to him. What's his deal?
Like, good God, that could be me in 50 years, you know?
That could be me if I don't have a face.
Literally.
The faceless old woman who lives in your house.
Who secretly lives in your home. The Night Vale reference.
Friend of the podcast, Joseph Fink.
And Jeffrey Craner.
Craner.
Okay, well, I have two least favorite things of the episode. One of them is really small, and then one of them is like the big gripe. I'll go the small one first. The fact that they did CGI on Rose's face when they did practical, it seemed to me they did practical effects on everybody else's when they like smoothed their faces over.
It looked good.
It looked good when they were all in that crowd in like the weird cage thing, but then when they did Rose's, it was like they used a blur tool in Photoshop on her fucking face.
Well, actually, okay, this is kind of like a fun fact, so mentioning it late, but there's this scene, like in like the blooper reel, when they're filming it, when Rose has her face stolen. Billie Piper has like the little dots on her face, you know, because they have to like do the CGI later. Right. And she like can't stop laughing when like David Tennant is like up in her face, like acting like all angry, and she's like looking at him, and they keep like laughing at each other. It's like really cute.
Oh, that
he's
is
like
cute.
Yeah, he's like trying to pretend that like she doesn't have a face, and she's just like staring at him, and he keeps like giggling. It's like, I love it.
That's cute, especially because he's like, "No more Mr. Nice Doctor," like in that scene. That's really good. I like that, actually. You know
Yeah.
what? I don't like it. Like, I like it more than I did now because of that fun fact.
What does he say? Not the no more Mr. Nice Doctor.
He says, like,
It's
now
so
there's...
simple now, or something
Yeah,
like that.
nothing can stop me, or, like, some shit like that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But that was kind of, like, Ayo.
No, that, like, I'm not gonna go into detail about it.
You're normal.
I'm so normal.
You're really normal about it.
I'm the most normal person alive.
I can vouch. Everybody, can we vouch?
No comment.
No, I have to live with them. No,
Well, anyway, the other thing that actually really bothered me, I know I said that The Wire was my favorite part of the episode, but The Wire was also my least favorite part of the episode, because even though I thought that the actress did a really good job, she also, like, we don't even know what the fuck she is. She has no anything. Like, there's nothing to support her. Like, I feel like with the Celine, they had, like, a whole family dynasty. Even the Gelf, like, had a better backstory.
Yeah.
She was just, like, rando. Like, what? She was supposed to be executed, but then she escaped by, like, living on television waves or something. That was the backstory for her.
Yeah, like, she got executed. And she, like...
Somehow survived.
Like, I think it was... I don't even know. Like, her energy survived, and she's living in the TV and is trying to, like, take everyone else's energy to get strong
That's as
again.
bullshit as, like, Cassandra's brain still, like, being alive and the whole fucking mind shit in the New Earth episode.
Oh, yeah, no, like, the whole backstory behind The Wire, again, like, that shit makes no sense whatsoever.
No.
I will say, I feel like I did find it to be effective because I was so lost in, like, the fun of it all and the camp of it all.
Yeah.
That, like, I didn't care. Like, I found myself not really needing answers, but I really do understand, like, wanting them because there really weren't any. Like...
It just seemed... I mean, I really enjoyed the episode. Like, I really liked it, but I felt... It was kind of like the, like, Tooth and Claw, in that we really didn't get any explanation at all for, like, the backstory of our main villain. It was just kind of like, oh, they're here, and there's a werewolf, and there's monks. You know, it's kind of like that, except for The Wire. And I wish they would stop doing this. You know what I mean? Because it just feels kind of bad as, like, a one-off. And I don't know, maybe later on in the series, I know The Wire doesn't get continued because I looked on the wiki and it said that The Wire never gets explained ever again. So, like, truly a one-off fucking villain. But I really wish there was a little bit of something that we could have gotten that, you know, but I liked the episode.
But in terms of a one-off villain, why would you make it so impotent? Like, The Wire doesn't do anything the whole time except the Wire.
faces. But the poof at my gran.
No, it seems like the only actual villain was Mr. Magpie, and without Mr. Magpie, there is no episode.
Or Eddie. Eddie was the real villain
Okay,
all along.
yeah, because he's homophobic to his secretly gay son that got written out of the episode. But The Wire, you would think, okay, so The Wire has one power, which is to eviscerate Mr. Magpie at the very end of the episode. All the rest of it is just being on TV that Magpie orchestrated. It seems strange to me that they would make a one-off villain that is pretty scary and has some good moments, but actually never does very much.
Well, they couldn't... I feel like Mark Gatiss kind of restricted himself by setting it during the coronation, because you couldn't have that many long-lasting consequences, because obviously it's a historical event that we all know, and it went off without a hitch. I mean, unless there's some kind of secret conspiracy with Queen Elizabeth II's coronation that I don't know about.
There are 20 million faceless English people somewhere in the world right now.
And they're like, hey!
And they're all listening to our podcast.
Oh, God. But yeah, I mean, he kind of restricted himself in that way and setting it in a very specific historical time period.
You know what? I take it all back. The Wire is not actually impotent because it's only a threat one time. That's like the big build-up.
Yes.
Is that afterwards everybody knows you just turn the TV off, you know? Like,
Sure.
Then there's no more. But one time it's gonna be a big problem.
Sure.
I should have. Yeah, I overlooked that fact.
I'm glad you've come to your
Yeah.
senses.
I'm sorry. Who wrote the episode?
Mark Gatiss.
I'm sorry, Mark Gatiss.
He's listening right
Public
now.
apology.
Friend of the podcast, Mark Gatiss.
I honestly cannot think of a worse part. I'm gonna be so honest.
No
like,
way.
I was thoroughly entertained. Like, I'm not saying I can't think of a worse part, because I think that the episode was, like, genuinely, like, well written and good. Like, it was insane. But I had a lot of fun watching it. Like, I wasn't bored at all. I didn't really think that it dragged. I don't think that, like, I don't know, even its failings, even the Wire's, like, failings and little plot holes and Magpie's, like, disappearance, like, just, like, everything in the Dutch angles, like, it was really funny to me. Like, I was entertained.
Oh my god, do you think that What's-His-Face filmed it? The Dutch guy from that episode where Adam gets introduced?
Oh my god,
Van Straten.
Van Straten, yeah.
Do you think Van Straten was the director of the episode?
The Dutch
the
Mormon.
filmographer? Sorry, that was like a stupid joke.
Flashback to season 1, episode 6, Dalek, if you haven't listened to it.
Exactly. Go back and listen to it right now, everybody.
Yeah, no, I genuinely, like, I had a lot of fun watching it, and I can't think of anything that made me, like, I feel like bored would be the measure, right? Like,
Sure.
and I wasn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Jack has plenty to say.
Oh, Jack hated the
Give me the mic.
All right. Well, first off, I saw Sarah scrolling through Twitter several times throughout the episode.
No,
so,
I wasn't.
Yeah,
No, I wasn't.
I saw.
I wasn't on Twitter.
You were scrolling through something on your phone. Anyways, I like, good, like, shitty movies, I like campy things, but, like, I just can't get behind this show. Everything about it, I can't stand. Oh, my God. Trying to think of the worst thing.
There's so many bad
Jesus
things to pick from.
Christ, I know. I'd say the dialogue writing. Like, holy shit, what are these people talking about, man? They're just pulling words out of their asses to, like, try and justify the shitty CGI that's gonna come up in the next scene. I mean, fuck. Oh boy, I've tried so many times to watch this show. I'm sorry, guys. Glad you like it enough to watch a podcast about it. Really, it's just not for me. It's just not my thing. Those stupid accents, I can't get over them, man. Alright, somebody take the microphone.
Jack's got, like, the craziest hater bone, like, in his body for this show ever. And honestly, I respect it. Because that's how I feel about a lot of things. Doctor Who is not one of them, though.
It's because he, like, wasn't on Tumblr and didn't discover Doctor Who at 13. Like, genuinely.
But neither did I.
But you were on Tumblr. Like, you were in those spaces.
Oh, well,
I
also
feel like
I'm, I have a psychosexual relationship with David Tennant.
Yeah.
So I think that, like, makes me predisposed to like Doctor Who.
I think we also need to add, like, a para in there, like a parasocial
A
psychosexual
parasocial psychosexual relationship with
They
David
met.
Tennant.
They met in real life.
That's true. I met him and he was wearing a white shirt, white button-up shirt with red flowers, and he said hello. He, like, said hello to me, and I said, "I am so excited to be here," and he was like, "Well, that's great." So, you know what?
You didn't tell me what he was wearing.
Oh yeah, I have a picture. I can show it to you later. It's like it's a really bad picture that I took while I was waiting in line, and I thought about, like, the woman in front of me took a way better picture on her, like, nice phone, and I thought about tapping her on the shoulder and being like, "Can you send that to me?"
It would have been weird at a convention. It really would not have.
It would not have been, especially since she was, like, yapping this guy's ear off about, like, "Oh, well, have you seen, like, Broadchurch? Like, I really thought he was really good in Broadchurch," and, like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, you don't even know BBC's Casanova. I'm sorry.
I thought you meant she was talking to David Tennant.
No.
Like, have you seen Broadchurch? Like, I'm sure he has.
I'm sure. Anything else? I think that was a beautiful special edition episode for The Idiot's Lantern.
I'm so glad that this was the episode that we all watched together, because it's, like, a one-off episode that has, like, no consequences really, like, throughout the rest of, like, the series as a whole. And it's so fun and campy, in my opinion.
I miss the other guy. I like the other guy better.
Christopher Eccleston?
I don't know his name.
The bald guy?
Yeah,
But-
that guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a better actor, honestly.
I think that he brings something, like, really different to the role. I don't know if he's necessarily a better actor, but he definitely plays a more, like, serious doctor, at least right now.
Yeah, I feel like we've been talking about this, Jeanette. Like, I feel like the specific dynamic between Ten and Rose, it's not what I think of when I think of Ten's era and when I think of David Tennant's Doctor. And honestly, I don't know I don't know how I feel about it.
I agree though. Like, I think we're on the same page.
Yeah, no, yeah. We've spoken about this privately, but we haven't publicly said it on the podcast, and I'm kind of afraid. Like, I love the Doctor in general and Rose together. I really loved Nine and Rose together. But, like, there's just something going on here that I don't really know if I'm on board with anymore.
Doctor what?
Follow us on all of our socials on Instagram and Tumblr. On Tumblr, it's at Dr. What Podcast. On Instagram, it's at dr.what.podcast.
That's crazy. What the fuck?
I've listened to every episode, dude. I've heard them all so many times.
That's really awesome. You took the words right out of my mouth.
I'm hungry.
This tiny room's starting to smell like feet.
And cut.